There has been conversations all over the world for some time now all about free speech. It seems to me that governments absolutely everywhere are testing their hand as to what their populations will allow. Whether it's the Scottish government with their hate crime bill, stating that freedom of speech is not an absolute right. It was Kamala Harris who said that social media companies are directly speaking to millions and millions of people without any level of oversight or regulations, and it has to stop. Where I am in Australia, our left-wing government is trying to push through something called the misinformation bill, but forgets to leave out who decides what is and what isn't misinformation. Free speech is everything. And I've made dozens of videos about this topic. And I'm confident if you have been here for a while or you're a part of this community at all, you know how important it is. In fact, it's vital for us as a culture, as a group, as countries, as a fucking conglomerate known as Earth, to be able to function correctly and to be able to function as the people we want to be. If your government dictates what you can and cannot say, it is a slippery slope. First goes your speech, then your thought, then everything else. If they're controlling what you can and cannot say and can and cannot think, what else can they control? Throw in the control of truth, then you've got fucking 1984. And that's what could be where we're heading. And even you may trust your government right now. You may think they're absolutely beautiful and lovely and they really care. And maybe that's how they get these things through, with care and compassion. But do you trust your government in 50 years' time? Do you trust the people who haven't even been born yet to run your country with these laws? But here's the thing. Sometimes speech is horribly offensive. It's mean. It's really not nice. Like there's a comedian I know who's touring around Australia right now. Tickets are on sale. I'm in Brisbane this week. First show sold out. Make sure you go and get tickets immediately. Also in Adelaide. Oh wait, that's sold out too. Make sure you see me in Sydney and Newcastle as well, and Perth. Yeah, me. I'm talking about me. Go me. Sometimes speech really offends people. It really upsets people. But does that mean it shouldn't be said? In today's video, I've got two examples of exactly this. Speech which could be considered extremely offensive, mean, and not nice. But if you're a free speech fan, if you're an absolutist, then you have to allow it. The first is Pauline Hanson. Now, she is a politician here in Australia. You would consider her very right-wing. If the new right is in the middle, more libertarian, then she's, a little bit more right than that. Anyway, she said some real dumb shit in her life. She's also said some good things, but people forget about that because she says a lot of dumb shit. And in fact, she said something dumb to a lady called Marine Faruqi. There's a lot of history between this pair. They don't like each other. And Pauline Hanson disagreed with something that Faruqi had said on Twitter when it came to the Queen dying, and Pauline Hanson said some dumb shit. It's not that bad, but you shouldn't say it. I wouldn't say it, but she said it. And she's a fucking politician, okay? So she said it. Silly. But it landed her in court and she was found guilty because of it.
A federal court judge has found One Nation leader Pauline Hanson breached the Racial Discrimination Act through a tweet directed at fellow Senator Marine Faruqi. Senator Hanson has been ordered to pay costs and delete the post, which was a reply to Senator Faruqi on the day Queen Elizabeth II died in 2022.
Okay, so what did Marine say? Well, she said, condolences to those who knew the Queen. This is the day of the Queen's death or thereabouts. I cannot mourn the leader of a racist empire built on stolen lives, land, and wealth of colonised people. Marine must hate every single country in the world because most of them were colonised by someone at some point. These are very typical left-wing talking points. They hate the monarchy. They hate anyone that did anything 200 years ago. But anyway. And then Pauline comes in and just turns it into an absolute shit fight. Your attitude appalls and disgusts me. Fair enough. When you immigrated to Australia, you took every advantage of this country. Fair enough. You took citizenship, bought multiple homes and a job in Parliament. Fair enough. It's clear you're not happy. Fair enough. So pack your bags and piss off back to Pakistan. See, Pauline, you were going so well. You could have just said, if you don't like the country so much, leave. But when you make it about race, and even though Pakistanis or people from Pakistan, they're not a race of people, obviously, it's just a country. When you make it about someone who is not white, then people go in hard at you, and then you lose your argument because they just play the race card. Now, I wouldn't say that. Pauline said it. It's a dumb thing to say, but she fucking said it, all right? She's been saying that type of shit for 1,000 years. Here's the thing, though. If you said the exact same thing to a politician who came from England or came from America, who is now in this country, immigrated to this country, and you told them to piss off back to the UK, Scotland, Ireland, America, you'd be fine. But because this person isn't white, it's automatically a race thing. It's a whole fucking kettle of fish. Now, this case isn't surprising. Marine and her son, Osmond, they love suing people and going to court and shit. And I'm pretty sure Osmond's talked shit about me. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I swear I remember him saying something. Probably not. I'm probably wrong. Don't sue me, Osmond. But what drew my attention to this case is what she said at the end of these court proceedings. And this is really important.
Today's ruling tells us that telling someone to go back to where they came from is a strong form of racism.
Unless they're a white English American type of thing. Yep, I understand. But yeah, I see what you're saying, okay? I see what you're saying. I can't even, as a comedian, I can't even defend this as a joke because it wasn't a joke. You know, it's being said in anger. It's just don't fucking say dumb shit like that.
This ruling draws a line that hate speech is not free speech.
Now that's an interesting precedent to set. Now, no one should ever attack anyone with racial abuse. Absolutely no. But, and I'm sorry to say this, you shouldn't be punished for words that come out of your mouth, sounds that come out of your mouth. You shouldn't be. We should live in a country, we should all live in countries free enough for you to be an asshole. And if you are a free speech absolutist, which I think I am, you have to subscribe to this idea that everything has to be able to be said or expressed. Unless, of course, you're calling for violence against someone, then yeah, sure, okay, we can put controls on that. But saying something like what Pauline said, should you really have to go to court over that? Or should you just be allowed to say it and then everyone looks at you and goes, what the fuck did you say that for? This ruling draws a line that hate speech is not free speech. Sounds a lot like what Tim Walz said in America not too long ago. Said the exact same thing, basically. I hate to go all conspiratorial here, but why are the ruling elite starting to do this shit? Really starting to want to control what we can and cannot say. In Australia, you may not know this if you're in America or the UK, we do not have freedom of speech laws. It is implied in our constitution, but it's not written. So we're fucked. And frankly, I think that absolutely should be changed and changed now. Just to be clear, don't attack people on their race or their skin color, okay? I think it's an absolute weakness. But you should be allowed to. You should be able to. That's free speech. Another example is this. And this is going to really split the room, I think.
This man is Jacob Hersant, who is the first Australian to be charged under new laws which outlaw hate symbols. He was charged after performing the hand signal best associated with the Third Reich on the court steps when he was there for other charges and then received a dispensation for those charges if he stayed out of trouble. The argument that he ran was that he had an implied freedom constitutionally to make this symbol if he so chose. The magistrate disagreed, saying that while he could hold whatever ideologies he wanted, the specific salute that he made was against the law.
This dude, a fuckwit, I'm sure, probably a hateful person, who knows, to do that type of salute. But should he be charged for doing it? Surely not. Surely you can't be charged for making a certain gesture with your hand. Who is the government to tell you? Who are the police to tell you that you can't make a certain movement with your body? You're not hurting anyone. You might be upsetting a lot of people, no doubt, but you're not hurting anyone. As I said, if they control what you do, what you say, it'll be what you think next. Misinformation, disinformation. And then what comes after that? Man, it's a fucking slippery slope. It's worrying. And a lot of the times freedoms they don't disappear overnight. They're slowly eroded. Under the guise of we're helping people, we're saving people, we're looking after people. But that may not be the case. You must see the forest for the trees here and understand that populations who are easily controlled are favoured by those who want power. Now, you may disagree with me, but you're a dent. Fuck off. Ladies and gentlemen, let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Let me know what you think about this mic as well. This is a podcast mic. I thought I'd try it in this video and see what you guys think audio-wise, whether it's better than the regular videos. Make sure you check out my book, Betterman. Ooh, looks good. And also, I am on tour. Go and grab some tickets. And I'll see you all in the next video, ladies and gentlemen. Toodaloo, au revoir. Big motherfucking peace in the Middle East. Toodaloo, au revoir. Bye.